Hey, what's up? This is Todd Smith. I'm back with another video. In this video, I want to give my 1 week review of the Behringer Crave. I've actually had this unit a little over 2 weeks now, so I've had it well over a week. But at the same time, I got the TD3, and if you follow this channel, you'll know I pumped out a bunch of TD3 videos. Before we jump into the Behringer Crave, I need to thank you for taking the time to check out this video and support this channel. Without your views and the Patreon monthly support, I would not have motivation to pump out content pretty much every single day, push my dreams forward, and I can't thank you enough for that motivation. Jumping back into the Behringer Crave, I've now spent a full week really exploring this machine. Very much like the TD3, when it comes down to building the sound process on the knobs, this is a fairly simple device, so it has a fairly limited sound range. A greater sound range than the TD3 because you have some pulse width in there, you have more inputs and outputs with your semi-modular settings up top, so you definitely have a little bit more diversity to play with, but the machine is very simple in form, but simple isn't always bad. Now right out the gate, I'm going to say I don't really use the ARP in the sequencer too often. I do that through Core Gadget. So the core focus of this review from me is definitely going to be focusing on the sound aspect of the machine. And like I just stated, like the TD3, it is fairly limited. It is not a super complex and highly evolving machine. If you're expecting to pull a bunch of variant sounds from this machine, you might be disappointed. And if you had just one Crave alone with some effects, honestly, the experience might not be super overwhelming. It might seem mediocre in sound, but its strength comes when you start stacking and layering with other synthesizers. So obviously as a semi-modular unit, it's promoting that landscape anyways. It's fitting in the world where people are going to be buying a bunch of gear and stacking it all together. And that's where the Crave is going to perform the best. As I stated in my initial video, the build for this machine is firm and solid for the price tag. Everything about it feels like a tank for the money that I've paid for it. The metal casing, the solid knobs, I think the fake wood side again, but that feels really nice. The nice firm mounts at the bottom that keep it really gripped to the table. I'm actually very impressed with the build quality for price tag. I've actually started experimenting with the semi-modular aspect of this unit faster than any of my other Behringer machines. Even the Neutron, which has a lot more inputs, which is pretty funny. To be fair, the Neutron has a lot more going on within just the knobs and the oscillators and the things that you can do without semi-modular. As I stated before, the Crave is very simple at its core, but what gives it the most diversity is the semi-modular input up top, which probably promotes me to play with it. Within the first week, I've had the most fun and the best results playing with the frequency modulation and using various sources to feed the frequency modulation. But again, this is my very first week. I am a noob at semi-modular, so if you'd love to share your favorite Behringer kind of combo patch up top, feel free to do that in the comments down below. I'd love to check them out. It adds some complexity to what is alone a very simple unit. Of course, if you have other semi-modular synths, like many of the Behringer units are, you can interchange with each other, and that is just another way that, again, the Crave thrives in a multi-synthesizer live environment. Within my first week of using it, I've found that it's a bass machine for me. That fast, sustained bass is where it thrives the best in my particular music. You might find it different. It might thrive in a different part of music for you. We're all different. We go through different processes. We have different machines with different strengths. So, one machine might be a completely different part of the setup for you. But I've found, and where I think it's going to thrive for me, is really fast, short, sustained style bass that many times I'd have to use the Pro 1 for to really get that bass I wanted. But since the Pro 1 can do some more advanced sounds, having this bass machine to kind of carry that short sustained bass notes will open the Pro 1 to do more advanced stuff in the future. And again, that's where I feel the strength of the Crave comes in a person that stacks a bunch of synths and plays it live. The synth itself might not be super complex, but what it takes over in your sound design might open a more complex synth up that you were using for simple sounds to cover maybe bass or something of that nature. A lot of people ask me, why are you getting the Crave? Can't you get everything you want from the Crave from the Pro 1? But I thought to myself, yeah, I can, but a lot of times I'm using the Pro 1 for a simple little short sustained bass when it can do a lot more. From what I saw from the videos, this thing was really good at it, and I've experienced it, and now I'm verifying it's great at that short, really fast sustained bass, almost industrial style sequencing. Having that machine designated for that short sustained bass now means I never have to apply the more complex Pro 1 to that field. And as I've been kind of hinting over and over in this video, my final recommendation would really come down to if you are a multi-synth setup person. If you're a person who's a DAW-less jammer and stacks up a bunch of gear to play live, this is something you're probably going to want. If you have a bunch of semi-modular stuff, then you stack and you play live, this is probably going to be something you want. If you're a person who's more in the box, doesn't really stack a bunch of stuff live, there's a good chance at that point this Crave could feel useless to you. I'm really happy I got it. It's going to fit really well with my music. You'll definitely be seeing many videos with the Crave and the TD3 in the future with my other Behringer setup. And I really hope this 1 week review kind of helps some people decide if the Behringer Crave is something for them. And as always, stay positive, stay creative, support each other, and peace.